What's happening, world? Happy Friday. Excuse me. Welcome to another episode of Cognac Confessionals. I'm your host, Deshaun. Here we're at Media Meat Studios, in conjunction with VJ TV, Feral Films,
Hey.
History in the Making Entertainment, Keep It Cloudy Productions. Uh, Shout out to the Venus Lounge. You know, with Cat Bobineau, we always got, shout out our folks.
Cat Bobineau.
They always be supporting us. We support them. We got current events, I guess, we're going to talk about tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting on our guest. So we'll see. If they show up, great. If they don't,
Hope
we
they
keep
cool.
we keep the party rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll let my co-host. Oh, shout out to Camouflage. Camouflage couldn't be here tonight.
Well,
Yeah, Camouflage. So let my co-host introduce herself.
hey, what's up, y'all? It's Feral, man, a.k.a. Feral Films, man. And it's always a treat when the players meet.
Always, you know what I'm saying? It's been an interesting week. It's what? Today's the first day, officially the first day of summer.
I'm with it.
It's nice
It felt
weather
like
out
it,
there.
too, finally.
Yeah, you
It
got
felt
some
like
nice
it,
weather
too.
in the town. You got it's busy. You got Lake Fest tomorrow. You got
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
You got a lot of things going on.
Yeah, so
One of my favorite holidays of the year passed yesterday.
yeah, that Juneteenth.
And, you know what I'm saying? And I can't get over you weirdos that keep talking about saying stuff on social media trying to be contrarian. Like, oh, cats tripping on this holiday. I only heard about it a few years ago. And I'm like, if you grew up here in the Bay Area, they've been doing Juneteenth
Forever.
in Berkeley and Frisco since the 80s, at least.
Yeah.
And if you grew up in L.A., Leimert Park, they've been doing Juneteenth since 83, 84 out there. But here goes the thing, but it's another thing. The majority of us, at least one of our grandparents, is from Louisiana. Or Orange, Texas, or somewhere in that area.
Texarkana,
which is the
Arkansas,
areas,
one of them
which
spots.
is the thing is in June. So all of us grew up with somebody in our family who very much grew up going to Juneteenth celebrations. So
Right.
maybe because the white folks didn't tell you it was a big deal,
Right.
you chose not to make it a big deal, and now you wonder why some of the rest of us make it a point to celebrate.
We've been at this.
And I got to commend my job because the last couple of years they brought out the red, black, and green and all that type of stuff. And we'd have to get at them and be like, hey, them is Pan-African colors.
It's not.
They made Juneteenth colors. And this year, they actually put up the actual Juneteenth flag with the proper colors.
Good.
And so,
Educate the people, please, sir.
Progress. Because,
Educate the people.
because the red, black, and green represents the Pan-Africans. They represent the diaspora, as they call it,
Right.
and stuff like that. Juneteenth represents us who came from after slavery. The thing is that I've seen on social media some Caribbeans and Africans and some other people saying that if you say this is for Black Americans, that it's divisive. But here's the thing. If they doing Cinco de Mayo, I'm going to go down there, maybe buy a shirt, eat some food, celebrate it, and when somebody gets up and starts talking about what the meaning of it is, I'm going to sit there. If they're having a Haitian thing or carnival over in the city,
Right.
I'm going to come spend some money, support it, and be in the crowd.
Right.
For some reason, when Juneteenth been coming around, others decide they need to get on the microphone and be recognized. But if it's Haitian Pride Day, if it's Haitian Independence Day, if it's Carnival, if whatever the occasion is, us melanated people who are descendants of that, we just come out and support.
Right.
We come out, spend some bread, we support, we listen to the stories, we listen to the music. And it's odd to me, though, that when we say, hey, no, this is our day. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? What are you trying to have a day for yourself? Because, without getting too deep into it, and I recently had one of my son-in-laws is Jamaican. And he got into a conflict with someone. And his true feelings You know, we're lazy, we're ignorant, we're ghetto.
You
all
niggas don't
all that
do
came
nothing.
spilling out.
Hey.
And I'm here to tell y'all something. There ain't a Jamaican or African or Haitian that's come to America and doing nothing that a foundational Black American didn't hit over the head to do. See, many of y'all families immigrated to America after 1964. That's because Black Americans got beat over the head in Selma and marched for them rights. So for you to come in and assimilate to the mainstream and then diss us, it's wild. I ain't gonna hit on it too much more because people who haven't properly studied the history or haven't really interacted with them people outside of a superficial level don't understand what they really feel about you. And why they have no problem. You'll look at them and say, "Oh, we the same," and you'll go in there and fight for them. White boy get to talking crazy to him on the job, you'll step in. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But you looking at it like, "Oh, this makes us kin.
Yeah.
This makes us brothers."
Skin folk.
But they not looking at you the same.
And that's a cold game. That's the cold part of this.
Hey, Kafani calling. Cool.
What's happening?
Oh, well, shit. Andre and Nicole, how are you?
What's up, Andre? Shout out to Sugar and Spice Podcast.
And another thing, a lot of people is complaining about the antics that OPD pulled yesterday at the lake.
Yes,
there's two sides to that.
I see both sides of it. Unfortunately,
one of the sides is people forget last year 14 people got shot. So of course they're gonna come out. Plus they got their own official sanction thing on Saturday, where they charging vendors, they charging and everything like that. So of course they not gonna let you set up 2 days before and make this money.
Right.
Let's just keep it 100. So on one hand, and that's not to defend the police because they was real heavy handed and everything like that.
Shit.
But if the year before that it was multiple shootings, last year 14 people got shot in one incident, and all kinds of things go on, it would be irresponsible of people who run a city to not say, "Hey, we got to get out there and exactly." And you can use an example of, "Well, they didn't do all that on Memorial Day or this and that." Well, on Memorial Day, was it really going to draw? Because there's some people that get drawn to things like Juneteenth, and they coming out there with heavy artillery. I'm not talking about they got a little 22 tucked in their pocket, and if somebody tried to mug them, I'm talking about cats really out there with ARs and stuff, and letting look who ain't never been to the range, and acting off pure emotion and impulse and anger and just firing into the crowd. Because them 14 people that got shot, you think all 14 of them was involved in the fight? No, so, you're right. And then you got a set of vendors. Like, everybody knows the process, and you could agree with it or not agree with it or say that, well, I don't think the city should be regulating that, but that's neither here nor there. There's a process. You're supposed to go down, buy a permit, show them what you're finna be selling, and go out there and sell it. If you're handling food, you're supposed to get the food handler license, all that, right? That's the procedure.
They want their coin.
So if you going down there and just finna set up a tent and sell food, saying that somebody else does it on 23rd Avenue is not really a defense. They be on 65th, that's not really a defense.
Right.
This is the way the procedure go. And then there go the other thing. Cats be out there setting up their booths, selling liquor, selling weed, all that. Hey, don't get me wrong, I'm all for liquor and weed. Right. But I also have common sense and understand that the way this society is set up, these things are regulated. Right. So you just can't pull up, set up a tent, start selling margaritas and apes without the proper permits.
Because they own you.
And if they come and snatch my liquor and weed up, I can't really say, man, they oppressing me. Because even if whether I disagree or not is irrelevant, because I think some rules and regulations is completely nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
But if that rule and regulation has already been placed, then it's foolish of me to stand there and argue the point. Or it's foolish of me to try to set up and then say, look how they doing me.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're doing yourself.
Right. I mean, I agree with you on that because, and the thing is, I get the mindset of, hey, Juneteenth, we want to be down there and be able to have fun,
right?
Kick it. I agree with that aspect
100.
of it wholeheartedly.
100.
Because you should be able to. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, you have people that fuck it up for everybody, and unfortunately, what happened is the consequence of of motherfuckers not having their emotions in check.
But you know what? But you know what's once again. It's been perfectly fine, and I've been going out there since 87, 88, the Infirmary Park, because it's actually put in place by some OGs. Everybody out there is permitted. They've already coordinated with the city. They already set up their own barricades to shut down the street. So everything's approved. See, the OGs over at the Infirmary Park been doing this almost 40 years,
and they don't play.
And they have everything in place how it's supposed to be, and you never hear about nothing going on over there. Yeah. It's new booties popping up deciding. Because all my life, the Infirmary Park, West Oakland, was where Oakland Juneteenth goes on. Last few years, new booties have popped up and been trying to do shit at the lake without it being properly sanctioned and coordinated with the city. And now we have shootings and chaos and this and that. What's the difference? The one difference is OGs been doing this over at the Infirmary Park before it was a thing. Before you could even make some money. They just be out there on the grill and everybody come.
Come have fun.
The cats that's doing shit by the lake is cats who looked up and said, ooh, shit, I can make some money. We all know when one person is doing something in an organized fashion for the love of something, and another person says, "Oh, I can pimp some money," and we see the results. This shit keeps going bad at the lake every year.
Right.
If y'all really want to celebrate Juneteenth next year, just make preparations to take your family, because you can take your family, on down to the Infirmary where they've been doing it for 40 years already and celebrate with them. See, I got grandkids. If I was going to take them to Juneteenth, I would take them to the Infirmary because I know that's going to be cool. I wouldn't take them, even though the lake might be more lit, I wouldn't take them to the lake because if something jump off, I can't risk. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I'll be out there, whatever, and if it moves, if it seems like it's funky, I'll cut. I can peep things.
Right.
But if I got them with me,
it's extra.
I'm not going.
Right. I mean, exactly. Like even at one of my offices, I couldn't even park when I got back because I had a work function. I was way in San Jose, but then I came back and like, damn, I can't even park in my fucking own parking lot.
Oh, because
everybody
streets and stuff.
No, because everybody in my lot, they had all these spots taken. I'm like, it was even our permanent spots was taken, and I was like, what the fuck going on? Because I didn't know. Because I'm at work. I wasn't off yesterday. I was at work. So, and then I drive by the lake, and I'm like, damn, I can't make a fucking right on Lakeshore.
Right.
Go around, then all this other shit. I'm like, dude, what the? Then even to get on 580, I'm like, ain't nobody at the lake. Nobody.
Yeah.
So that's the part where I'm like,
set up early blocking.
They had fucking sanitary garbage trucks blocking Lakeshore off by Grand and shit. I'm like, now
they was doing too much.
Too much. I'm like, nobody. You didn't even let motherfucker could have came and just chilled at the lake just to chill, which you still should be able to do that. That's why I'm like, I see both sides.
If you said the vendors is a problem, then raise the vendors up. But we were still gonna come out there. Maybe we throw our own meat on the grill.
Yeah,
we don't need vendors.
I'm not selling nothing. I'm not giving away food.
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
But we want to gather with our people.
You should be able to do that.
So maybe it should have been compromised. You say these is illegal vendors and they raise them. Okay, well then raise them up, but let the people enjoy.
If I'm just enjoying being at the lake on a Saturday, a Sunday, a Tuesday, or whatever day, I'm able to.
Last year I paid $19,000 in property taxes. Probably gonna do the same this year.
You're gonna pay 22.
We got some of the most heavily taxed things for the city of Oakland and the county of Alameda.
Right.
If you own property, you pay through the nose. And some of the things that you're paying through the nose for, you never get to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when last time we went out to the lake and just chilled?
I've been out there a couple of times. I drive through.
But a couple of times.
But if I can find a park, you know me,
Right.
I keep it a buck with y'all. I circle the block 2-3 times. If I can't find a park, nigga, I'm out.
Right.
But
that's the thing. And shout out to that vibe, because, man,
shout out to that vibe.
Man, parking is almost impossible. It was worth it. But I say all that to say that we really, those of us who are landowners, those of us who have maybe a little bit higher income jobs, we actually really pay through the nose to subsidize this lifestyle, and we don't necessarily get to enjoy all the perks of it.
Right.
You know, so it's, I don't know, the police had a real heavy-handed response.
Yeah, they was out there, out for
Then
real,
I seen a city planner talking about basically Barbara Lee said she ain't finna have all that.
and that's another story. But and then, like I said, you got Lake Fest tomorrow, which is tickets. They not playing. So this is
right.
And the thing about it,
and the vendors is paying hundreds of dollars about this. So if y'all do go, make sure you
support them vendors. They ain't letting you in with water, nothing.
And them vendors is paying an arm and a leg to be out there.
Yeah, so support. We tell you go. It's gonna be very controlled, and they not playing. I even posted. I shared on my IG.
Well, we used to pay to get
rules.
the festival. Well, some people pay to get the festival.
But we're not against supporting the vendors and the city, because the city needs to be proper, especially the vendors. These are people who have business, who taking the time to do what they love and share what they do with everybody.
Buy a meal from one vendor and buy a T-shirt from another. Spend some money, man.
Spend some money. Go out there and have fun.
These people ain't going to get on. They ain't taking this money and getting on their yacht and cruising the Caribbean.
You're talking about real homegrown mom and pops,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So, and shit, I might slide through, and I might bring a camera and try to film, and who knows, maybe. But
bring cash, because a couple years ago I went out there.
They don't have it.
Well, a couple people had the swipe.
Yeah.
But the internet was so overwhelmed that
if
they couldn't do no sales.
They
you know what I'm saying?
Right. So always carry cash and be on the alert and keep your head on the swivel. Cause the people that come to just,
and if them youngsters get to arguing or something to get the vibe or this and that, man, don't wait to see what's going on. Get up out of there, man.
I don't got time for it. Cause I can't.
Hey, broski. Just saw Broski the other day. We both went down there and supported Mr. Fab with that thug therapy. And,
that was Wednesday when I got back.
Right.
That was
And and watch the Kugler, speak and do his thing. You know what I'm saying? And
let's tap in on that.
It was actually an eye-opening experience, because one of the things he said, because really, arguably, right now, he the man of the hour in Hollywood, right? And everything he done touched has been golden. And then he said some crucial things. He said that one of his problems is that he has a lot of self-doubt. And I'm sitting there like, nigga, you king of the earth. What you mean you got doubt?
Yeah, but he's human.
Right, human. Exactly. You forget that when you put somebody on the pedestal, you forget.
But that's the thing about being human, because you can, no matter who you are, you still human. You have feelings. You go through shit. You can be $1 million nigga and still be like, man, I don't know if I want, just like, I'll do. This is just a small piggyback. Like, you can look at an entertainer, and this is any genre, raps, R&B, soul, whatever the fuck. Even a motherfucker that just played the piccolo or the violin. Been on top of the world, right? And 10, 15 years later, motherfuckers be like, get the bug, like, man, I want to come out. I want to do some shit. Do I still got it? You know what I'm saying? Andre 3000 was like, man, I don't want to throw a brick, but Andre 3000 is one of the rawest lyricists. But that you can your fans see you and perceive you as how they perceive you.
Dr. Dre will never drop that album.
Man.
That last album he been talking about for 20 fucking years.
Shit, you supposed to drop Helter Skelter and Detox.
Them shits ain't, man. They're gonna be like Prince. Them shits gonna be in the vaults after he gone.
Right.
That's when
Somebody
gonna
gonna
get the
release
hit.
it and be like, man. Because speaking of the pivot, and I haven't listened to this album. Lil Wayne just dropped, and
I heard
I'm hearing
kept that in the. He should have kept it in the archives.
I heard some of that too. I haven't listened to it myself. Actually, no. I heard one song when I was driving, listening to XM. They played one song, and so I haven't listened to the whole thing. But that goes into that, like you said. But Coogler said, "Hey, he human. We all human." Dude, boy, I can sit back and be like, because even Trapper hit me. He was like, man, him and Henny Bo got a song they want me to get on.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. But I'm sitting in the back like, okay. I'm with it. But there's a part of me that's like, yeah. But I'm like, man, okay. I haven't done nothing in a minute. But, we'll sit here and freestyle and do shit. But I'm like, I can't sit here and talk about drugs and all this shit because I don't do that shit.
Right.
So most of the motherfuckers, it won't be appealing to the fucking lames, but
because it's grown men. Shit.
Right. True lyricists may be like, oh, this nigga going, but it's a part of me that's like, But I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna drop some shit to it.
Because man, the way this game is set up, you got people honestly arguing if Jim Jones and Nas.
Man, there's no competition.
But
thank you.
Here's the thing: Nas dropped 4 or 5 projects in the last 2 years. That wasn't the level of Nas. So if you're a youngster and you hearing this,
right?
Maybe a dude like Jim Jones, who's not a serious dude at all, dressed like a teenager, articulates the most ignorant opinions, and also represents a middle-aged man who's on stupid time.
Right.
So to us, we gonna, by virtue of, even if not these projects ain't to the standards of Nas,
I haven't even heard.
We look at how he carry himself. We listen to what he's spitting, and this grown man, 40-some-year-old, almost 50-year-old grown man rapping, right?
Right.
Jim Jones is he represent the ignorance. He'll tell you himself. He represent the ignorance. So to a youngster, Jim Jones is actually going to be more appealing. And that's the dilemma that Lil Wayne is facing right now. Is that Lil Wayne, you 40 plus. You 40 plus. You so far detached from your Hot Boys days and all that. But I guess maybe his financial business didn't get handled. So he can't kick back like a Jay-Z despite all his accomplishments. So he kind of got to get out there and still rap to maintain his lifestyle.
Right.
But grown people like us, actual grown people, don't be like, what the fuck is this nigga even talking about? It's not even going to, even though he in our category, it's not going to appeal to us. But you're outside, but you're not embracing the Jim Jones, dressed like a teenager type thing. So he in a kind of a no man's land. Like, I don't even know who this album was even supposed to appeal to. His classic fans gonna be like, he sound tired. He sound uninspired. Yeah. He really sound like
it could be
he really rapping for the money. But okay, if you rapping for the money, then you got Boss Man, D-Lo, and that's your competition.
Right.
And they young dudes, so they in their moment. You 20 years older than them.
Right.
So I don't know what he's supposed to do. But like you mentioned Andre 3000, that nigga was like, man, what am I gonna even talk about?
Exactly. And I can exemplify that thought process, because it's like, what am I gonna sit here and I go to work, I do shit. Don't get me wrong,
hey, Miss Sexy Mark,
she back, yeah. But seriously, when you look at what's pushed, you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody pushes the same fucking shit. Just like, remember years ago, every video was the same. You had the club scene, scene with the cars, the scene on the boat.
It's even some of the same girls.
Right. You see the same shit regurgitated, and everybody does it.
It was the formula.
Yeah, and it's just like you say, like we sit here, we've had this conversation before. Like the movie The Fast and Furious and certain movies, you're like, why do you keep making this shit? And I get it, But it's like, dude, you can only do so much. But they like, man, these motherfuckers coming spending money, so we gonna keep throwing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know something? I can't hate the game.
Right.
I can hate the player. That's what they say. Hate the player, don't hate the game.
Like we were talking about last week. They say
mm-hmm.
they want things to be outside the box, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you go outside the box, people and shit don't sell, and then you be like, damn.
Because motherfuckers,
I should have gave him another Fast and Furious.
Right. Because motherfuckers scared to think outside the box.
Yeah.
And it takes a visionary to come with some shit like a Ryan Coogler
Mm-hmm.
that does something outside the box. Even Jordan Peele, he did some shit outside the box.
Yeah.
You know, it takes people who got the intestinal fortitude to say, fuck the norms. I'm finna do some different shit.
But here's the thing. When you don't go outside the box, you really got to hit it, or else it's just going to be some weird shit and don't relate, and you might as well make Boys in the Hood version 974.
You keep making All American.
Yeah.
After the dad died. Like, why? Why is that shit
like
so
the story should have been over.
What the fuck?
I made the mistake of watching the other All American where they went to college, and there was a college in the South, and I'm sitting there like,
everything don't deserve a spinoff. I'm sorry. And y'all niggas can get mad at me all y'all want. Every series don't deserve a spinoff. You know, and my thing is, and it's just my humble personal opinion, I like some of the shit we do, you know, but at the same time, I'm tired of some of the same shit we do.
Yeah.
I want to see something different. I watch shows, and I'm not the super club function going to dude because I did that shit as a teenager.
It gotta be somebody's
and
birthday. It gotta be an occasion.
So you know, I just touched 50, so and I got property. I enjoy my mortgage. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to expand shit. I'm trying to, you niggas gonna be paying me rent for properties and shit when I rent to y'all. But I'm just saying, I'm at that mental state of where I like to party sometimes, but I like to do what I can control. You know, I'm just tell you right now, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, my idea of a party is a lot of people that I know,
and I'm cool with you
at the crib, sipping on something cool. We chilling, and it's us.
Yeah, we had some cool shit.
200 strangers.
I don't need to interrupt the riffraff. That's just you know, money long, money strong. That's you niggas will get that at 3 a.m. But when it comes to shit, I like the shit I'm entertained by. I'll watch different shit, you know. But when do we, like I said, we think outside the box? You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing, though. Sometimes, though, the audience will get, like, for instance, everybody get on the thing. Every time Tyler Perry drop a movie, niggas get on there and drop think pieces and roast him and everything like that. And like I said last week, the one time I decided to make a Tyler Perry movie, it was called Her Leather Coat. It's on Peacock and Tubi now.
It is.
Right? And I put some everything in there. Abuse, incest, I just put trauma. Like I said, one of my folks that called me that was watching it said, hey, I'm almost done, but do shit get better? Right. Because if shit don't get better, they was ready to stop watching.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is that I have an extensive catalog. I have over 10 movies nationally distributed, right? Leather Coat made more money than all these other movies put together.
Because motherfuckers trauma bond.
I never have gone back there and made another one type of movies because I didn't come to tell trauma. I didn't come to do trauma, right? Exactly. But if I was truly financially reliable on only this, well then I know where the bread gets buttered.
You make Fast and Furious Part 17, niggas on the golf course.
You know, because here's the thing: people say this is not what they want. They don't want no trauma porn, this and that, right? But that's what sells.
Because niggas like to live in despair. Motherfuckers And don't get me wrong, there's always a soldier story, a hero, a story of the kid who couldn't and makes it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not knocking those stories. But
Right.
when we do have examples of us, melanated people, who didn't go through all that. Now I'm a kid who went through the shit, so I understand it because I've lived it personally. You know, so I get those trauma stories. I get it. But when do we start showing the other part and embrace it? Because it's there. Every melanated person wasn't homeless. Everybody wasn't on food stamps. Everybody wasn't.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. In the family structure, if you go down deep enough in the roots and the branches of the family tree, yeah, that shit is there somewhere. But you do have elements of us who didn't go through some of that shit. Now you got shows like, remember, we watched Bel Air on Peacock when it was coming, and it was like, okay, they did the remake, and it was like, okay, and it got to like, okay, yeah, we seen that part, but and everybody ain't got to be. I ain't saying you got to be the Cosbys and just, you know, but we have to get out.
Not every story has to be tragic or the.
Thank you.
Or we got it. Some variation of we got to hit this lick to get out the ghetto.
Right.
Or we got to. Oh, we got to. You know, some variation of menace to society.
Yeah.
And you know,
All
what's
the
up, Trap man? What's
Trap,
up?
what's good, my guy? Hey, but like, also piggyback off what you're saying. Every show, and this is the thing when it comes
Mike
to shows.
Chambers.
Oh shit, Cream Factory in the building. So my thing is, what I hate is when you got the shows with the melanated, with the sisters, and they go through all of the dudes on the cast in some type of relationship, and I'm like, why y'all showing sisters just being passed around and she messed with this nigga? Don't get me wrong. Yes, that shit kind of happens in real life and with low self-esteem people or people who don't know, you know, not knowing their self and whatnot. But why do we always have to present that? That was my issue with All American. That was my issue
from reality one time.
Yeah, that's my issue with what other show? I'm trying to think that did that same type of shit. It's like she messed with this dude, then the friend, and it's like everybody's friends and y'all all swap. It's like, can we do something or present ourselves in a different form? You know, we got to elevate. You got to think outside the box and elevate your mind and the way you think and the way you present yourself for people to take you serious.
Just a heartwarming movie.
And here's the thing: it don't have to exactly be in genre towards the heartwarming on the super, and that's the softy fluffy Hallmark card heartwarming suggestion I'm talking about. It don't even necessarily have to be that. It could be just some, hey, this is what we doing, this is what it is. You can have a thugged out gangster movie without all the extra bullshit.
My say evil sells.
True.
That it do.
True. Sex sells. When crack don't sell, pussy will.
Is that what they say? Even when cotton and corn won't.
Right. I mean, that's true. But, I mean, when do we, as connoisseurs of the entertainment, right? Because, hey, if all I need to do is give you top ramen, why would I fucking ever give you a brisket? I could be top chef, Michelin star chef, but if all I know I need to do is give you some top ramen with some sriracha, some mayonnaise, and some diced onions, why would I spend my money on Wagyu when you niggas is making me millions with this soy-based shit that ain't good for you?
Yeah.
And you gonna consume it.
Because as parents, we've all tried to do some rib eyes or some this or that. We've all done something like that, and the kids sitting there and they really want McDonald's. And you be like, man, I could have got a couple big doubles. Instead of putting this fire in, this rib eye up here, and all this saute, this, that, I could have just walked through. I could have just walked through the drive-through
and got y'all a 4 for 4.
And went and sat down.
You know, you been to my shit. I take care of my peoples that come through because that's just the type of dude I am. But and I don't even charge nobody nothing. But if I'm just like, as an entertainment, as an industry, as a people, when do we say I get the fluff and the buff and the bluff. But when is enough enough?
We got to vote with our dollars. When somebody comes to something new and innovative, we got to go do that. And we also got to look beyond what the man in the algorithm says this is what you should watch. But we should seek out content and new content creators.
Yes.
And especially find these new voices. And also beware of people that's being propped up. Like, for instance, I was watching the BET Awards, right?
The plants? Oh, yeah.
I was watching the BET Awards, and they said best female rapper, right? And they said Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Glorilla. They named all these ones. I'm not into it all like that, but I know these ones because they dominant. They everywhere, right?
All of them talk about
and then
how
they said
pussy is.
Lotto. Okay, she big time. She out there too. Then they said Doechii. And then they announced the winner, and it was Doechii. And I'm like, how Doechii winning over Megan? Not even on the quality of music. Because, I mean, I heard 3 or 4 songs from Doechii. She cool, but she's not necessarily better than them. And her impact is nowhere near their impact. Cardi B right now could sneeze. And it'll trend on Twitter. Glorilla could say, man, what's up, this and that, and however that little accent she got, and it'll be trending.
Ranking music.
Doechii is not on that level. In some kind of way, Doechii won over all them. And then I remember, there's been people been saying that Doechii's her rise, and everything like that is not necessarily organic.
Right. The machine is always be the machine. And I mean, you look at, let's go into this, for a second. And y'all please chime in with y'all thoughts, because we definitely will share your thoughts on the show. When it comes to female MCs, you got sisters who, how many things y'all gonna rap about? I mean, seriously. How many things y'all gonna rap about? And the ones who dominate the market, Machine Push, y'all talk about how good your pussy is, how boss your head is, how you got niggas and so many niggas you don't have to do so much, how you doing whatever.
Niggas lined up to cash out on you.
Yeah, right. And how niggas just whatever. And don't get me wrong, you may have females who niggas actually line up to do that shit, because once again, like I said, when crack don't sell, pussy will. Y'all better, the oldest profession is the oldest profession for a reason.
Yeah.
So I'm not knocking it. But once again, Fast and Furious 2015, version 2755.
Yeah.
If all y'all talking about the same shit,
it's a
where
formula.
is the other shit? Right, because somebody lying. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm not knocking y'all women at all. Please don't come with the this nigga who. Cause same with the niggas. Every nigga talking about how they spot cranking, how they got the best shooters, how they got the best drugs they take, and the this and that. Somebody's lying.
Yeah. One of y'all ain't who you say you is.
They got the best cars. They got the fattest chains. They got 50 million cars, and my house is just the biggest. And
they did all the dirt in the streets and never faced no consequences.
Somebody lying.
Just let me tell you something, man. If you shooting up the town like that, the way police is set up, they'll pin one on you if they got to.
On a fluke.
Ain't nobody shooting up the town all like that and doing all that and never see the penitentiary.
Right.
Okay, y'all believe that if you want to.
Right. Still, exactly, Von. So, I get, and don't get me wrong, I grew up in the '80s and been through the era, and I got stories I could share and that I'll never share. But it comes a point to where you grow and you got to talk about other shit. If you still talking about selling dime sacks and past 90, man, let's all go in on the 8th. Let's go in on it. No, nigga, you niggas should be matching whatever the quantity it is by then. That's just weird. I don't know about the other shit because I've never done other
There
shit.
should be something left over.
Right. But I'm just saying, and like once again, I'm not knocking y'all. I'm trying to just get y'all to think outside the box when it comes to this entertainment, because all y'all is hamsters on the wheel. Higher
Little
learning.
drug addicted hamsters.
What did Ice Cube tell Q? Oh, you on track? Run, nigga, run. You know, and that's even with sports.
Barkley told y'all's $40 million slaves. Cats got hot with him. Hey, they got hot with him. And normally, to me, he's a tap dancer.
Yeah, Barkley is a tap dancer, but he will say some shit.
But real is real, and he spent the real on y'all that one time. I put it in the broke clocks category.
Yeah, broke clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, he was right. He was right on that one, and it hurt people's feelings.
Yeah, because I mean,
broski,
bro, we gotta get you back on here, man. Let's line it up. But I mean, it's Friday. You got matter of fact, I'm just say shout out, happy birthday to my little brother Duck. His birthday was yesterday, Juneteenth. I know a lot of people's birthday was yesterday, but yeah, shout out to my little brother.
I mean, June to September is perfect birthday season. Mid-June to mid-September, you got to be like a special human being to be born during that time. And shout out to all of y'all that was born between June 19th and September 19th.
Oh, broski asked we going to the function tonight.
I ain't even heard about it.
That's the Too Short, Face, and DJ Quick.
Oh, with the band. Yeah, that's tonight.
That's tonight at the Fox Theater.
Yeah, well, I heard people talking about it. I thought it was Yoshi's or something.
No, that's at the Fox Theater. So the other weekend, I just was at the Roots picnic, right, in L.A. I went to the Hollywood Bowl. You know, I like I said, I get out. You know,
when it's worth getting out.
I get out I go to some shit. So, personally, I like doing shit away from home. I might slide through. I wasn't planning on it, but I might. You know me. You know how I am. Like I said, I dip in, dip out. I ain't no celebrity. I'm just a nigga who come and goes as it pleases. So I might slide. I might. But
I ain't going unless broski gonna be on the mic.
So I just seen Quick. So the Roots picnic the other week in L.A. was the Roots, Lil Kim, Havoc from Mobb Deep, E40, DJ Quick, Redman, Method Man, Raekwon, and I want to make sure I don't forget nobody.
Raekwon the Chef.
Yeah. Skills was there, Mad Skills.
Virginia's finest.
Yes, he was not on the bill, but he came out for a little bit. But
Ghost wrote for a lot of your favorite MCs, but we're gonna let that story tell itself.
You know, who else was on that bill? I'm trying to remember, but I had a ball. That was my first time going to the Hollywood Bowl, by the way. And they let you, hey, this is a spot where, because we were talking about the lake, you can't bring shit in at Lake Fest tomorrow. Hollywood Bowl lets you bring your own shit in. But it was a great fucking show. The Roots I've always been a fan of the Roots. Back in the day, even from the Silent Treatment. That's one of my favorite songs, by the way. No intermission.
Oh, they just kept it rolling. Huh?
Bruh, they started the show, and everybody came out one at a time. Havoc came out, 40 came out, Quick came out, and shout out to Black Thought, one of the dopest MCs. And if he ain't in your top 10, top 15, you slipping. Because rest in peace, the Prodigy. So when Havoc was out, he did his thing, but Black Thought sat in and filled in on certain songs, and for any act that was doing a duo. Lil Kim did Get Money, a verse she did so her and Havoc, they did
The Locks part? Jadakiss part?
no, they did
Quiet
Storm.
Mm-hmm.
It was it was just a bunch. It just was, dude, it was, I haven't been to a show in a minute that was just dope all the way through. And I know that the fucking function tonight is gonna be that.
Yeah,
so you right, broski.
I heard people talking about it.
I might slide through. More than likely, I will. But you know, I don't like telling people where I'm gonna be. So I'm gonna slide through. Probably, yeah, might see me. I might have my bat wings on and slide in like Batman.
It was good seeing you the other day, broski. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
my
I've been
guy.
absorbing that game on that Thug Therapy. Shout out to Mr. Fab once again.
Fab, man.
It's a powerful thing he got going on over there, man.
Salute that brother, because he's doing, that's the thing, bro. It's good when you got genuine brothers who really be authentically putting in the work and really trying to elevate the masses, you know. So I've always saluted and shout out that brother, you know, because he be doing his thing and he put in the work and that due diligence, you know.
Yeah, he really did put in the work.
Yeah, so I know you just you put all the love. See, I'm gonna switch gears for half a second.
Yeah, we just dropped.
You just dropped all the love
on Tubi and Amazon.
Amazon, what's happening with it?
Shout out to Anjanae Gray. I'm gonna tell you something. The real spit. She got out there. I forgot to even let her know that it was dropping. So it drops, so then I hit her and send her the link. Next thing I know, she putting together group chats, this, that, watch groups, the whole nine. I have almost never had an actor or actress go as hard in the paint to promote themselves as she did. So shout out to her. And man, you know, people often say, what's it going to take to get to the next level? I'm thinking if I had 10 of her, we could make some of these movies go viral, and that'll take us to the next level, and then we would have the financial and creative freedom to not do Boys in the Hood 79.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We could have the financial wherewithal to do what the fuck we want and be able to promote it properly so that we can so that it can really get out there to the people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, this weekend, you know, if you end up on Tubi, go type it in. All the Love is starring Anjanae Gray, Ron Cooper, aka Ron Rax, Kelda Music is in it. Danielle Monique is off in it. Legendary Busy. Shoot, man, we got a lot of people in it. Steve make a cameo. We got a lot of people. Day. David Harrison, he up in there. So you know we got a truly talented cast and stuff. And you know, I was surprised actually because we talking some anti-government stuff. We talking about COINTELPRO. We talking about a lot of real shit that a lot of mainstream films won't talk about. And the distribution company went ahead on and
they put it out.
They took a leap on it. So, you know what I'm saying? So, we need to run up them numbers to justify
for real.
Them because the particular distribution company that jumped on board is known primarily for only pushing hood shit. So this was outside the lane for them, but because I've built up a little track record with them, they fucked with me on it. But the numbers got to come through for them to be willing to do it again, because they're going out on a limb.
Right.
And then one thing these corporations hate to do is go out on a limb and it don't pay off because they could have just
said, no, we want you to throw more asses jiggling and titties wiggling. Yeah, so
Man, go on, keep it 100 then.
for real though. And unfortunately, no, you're right. Because
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's how we get pigeonholed into keep reproducing the same fucking Cyclops babies.
Right. Because I done gave them. I'm talking about
Thomas was
Cocktail
good.
Pro, Super Soldiers, infiltrating. You know, I'm talking about some stuff normally a hood movie don't talk about.
Right.
So, but if I wasn't 10 movies deep with them,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even got a chance to talk about this. But the flip
Right.
side though is that
So Angie,
if this shit don't do no numbers, if it don't do what I think it can do, then the next one I am gonna have to, this is gonna have to be in a strip club.
and
We're gonna have to overdose them with the
Yeah.
overdose them with the cakes.
hey, for real, and that's real talk, y'all. Y'all that's out there, you know, producers, it's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Dealing with this business because it's the entertainment business. Yeah, we here to entertain you, but there
Hey,
is
Angie.
the business side of it.
Yeah.
You know,
And
we
you know
need-
you got that balance of show business.
right. My guy Thomas, we gotta get you back on here again too, bro. And Angie, sis, you too. We got her story to tell. It's gonna be out in a little bit.
Right.
Talk,
But her story to tell though, it's got a couple cool plot twists, but it is more along the traditional
right.
what they expect. I tried to elevate it with a little more
messages
creativity, but it's more the tradition. We went all the way on a limb with All the Love. All the Love is going in a completely different direction. I mean, you know, we did, you know, Ram did
y'all.
My Sister's Keeper with the Sisters,
Yeah.
but man, when we go outside the box like that, man, y'all got to come with us.
Fuck with your peoples, man. You know what I'm
Y'all
saying?
gotta
It's
come
all
with
about-
us.
Yeah, because, I mean, the thing is, y'all can't eat saltine crackers all day. You know, you got Rich, you got Clubhouse, you got
Yeah, you
all
gotta change
type
the
of-
game.
you got to think outside the box, you know, and if
You
y'all
gotta
use,
diversify.
please, shit, summer finna start, you finna have pool parties, you finna, shout out to Toot, matter of fact, speaking of pool parties, shout out to Toots from Gooch, I said she had a pool party, some shit like a couple weeks ago, it was
You know,
cranking.
too. She had
And,
one.
And it's people doing some shit, and just like how we talking about the shit at the lake here yesterday and what's going on with the lake. My folks in Shack, Lucci and my cousin Barney, DJ Barney B, they be doing shit at William Land and Sac where they do barbecue, and it's just like, hey, you got something brings Sac. Y'all, the people be tripping when y'all manifest yourselves and shit get popular, and they trying to make it look like it's worse than what it is.
Right.
Now, William Land's situation is completely different than the shit that happened here last year with Juneteenth. But have fun and respect the situation and where y'all at. That's what I want to tell y'all first and foremost. You know, because they ain't gonna let you continue to have fun if they ain't getting in on it.
Right.
That's the thing you gotta understand. They gonna want they coin. Whether it's you paying a permit to be able to establish yourself on them grounds and just to have fun.
Cam K.
Hey, what's happening? Shout out to you, sis. Salute and respect all day. We gotta get part 2 because I definitely want to talk about your health journey on the full though. You know, but y'all gotta think outside the box. Stop letting the everyday norm and what you used to and what you expect dictate the outcome. Because life is more than cornflakes. They got a cereal aisle that got all type of different cereals.
And you're going to get that at 3.
3 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? You keep making peanut, and don't get me wrong, you can keep making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and then I'm 50 years old. I will still go to this day and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at home, on just because it's comfort. It's
good
easy
food.
shit. But I cook for real. I can do a whole lot of shit. But think outside the box, y'all. It's more to this world than just the shit that you think it is. And oxtails ain't ox. Give a fuck how you look at it. That shit is cowtail. call it what the fuck it is. Just say it. I had to just say that because, man, ignorance is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and you niggas buy plates of it all day. And I don't just mean oxtails. What you got coming up, P?
For this summer, we're going to release some Her Story to Tell. It's going to be getting released. Like I said, we just dropped All the Love. Going to be working on a new series called 304 with Chrissy Cola.
Shout out to Chrissy Cola.
And she's writing that. I'm going to be the director. And, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Fab is partnering in too with it. So,
shit.
So it should be really big. You know, a lot of y'all might think y'all know what it means because the title of it is 304, but it's a little deeper than that.
Yeah. That's what's up. And Camouflage is out doing his thing.
Mm-hmm. His album is dropping.
Yeah, he already dropped. Reverse Engineering dropped.
Y'all check that out and support Camouflage.
Yeah, support Camouflage. Him, Jay Styling, Livewire. Shout out to the whole Livewire camp.
Good quality shit
doing
going
their thing. It's gonna be a great summer, y'all. Don't let all this worldly shit that they confusing y'all with distract you from the real shit. Take care of your families. Take care of yourself. Health is wealth. You know what I'm saying? If you go on to Lake Fest tomorrow, come through with a good mindset. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy yourself. Or if you're at Lake Fest or this part of the Bay or whatever, have fun. The ignorant people, please don't be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Because we need less ignorance. Nobody cares about the dumb shit. We can't have shit if we can't have shit.
Facts.
You get that at 3 in the morning, man. But I want to tell everybody, man, y'all have some fun. Do what you do. Thomas, you said you waiting for that script. Okay, yeah. I make it happen. All of us, we ready. Just make it happen. We here to promote. Shit. This weekend, we got Lake Fest. What else going? My lodge is Juneteenth shit. We got it's a lot of shit going on this weekend, man. So make sure y'all be safe. Be mindful. We still got the finals. You got Game 7. I'm tapping into that for a little bit. You got Game 7 on Sunday.
I ain't really been paying this series too much attention because neither one of them teams really appeal to me. However, to see the best in the world going at it for Game 7 for all the marbles should be a pretty good ball game. So I'm definitely gonna tune in.
For real, and you think about it, it's a small market and that's by design. Because you look at it, this is the first series in. I'm trying to remember because I want to make sure I say this right. Where a California team or something ain't been in it.
Right.
In a while. It's just been, even I think it was the West Finals that it's been a long time since a California team wasn't there. But this is a small market because the narrative of the little engine that could has to be shown and presented to you for you niggas to keep going out there and buying a lot of tickets.
That's the performance art.
You'll get that at 3 in the morning. But that's the way the game is rolled. That's the way it happens. But these games have been good. I watched the last game yesterday. I watched it and it was like, damn. But it looked like it was a good game. And I was like, damn, it's supposed to go 7, which from the beginning I said it would go 7 because that's what you need to do. You have to present
since it went to 7.
Yeah, you have to present because it's a small market team, just like you said. Most people aren't going to pay attention to it because it's a small market team. So I got to bring the drama. Like we was talking about with movies and rap and all that. You got to bring the element to get the people to watch because most people like, nigga, these small market teams. Ain't nobody want to watch that shit.
Right.
That's the common denominator with a lot of sports fans.
If LeBron ain't somewhere involved, or the Warriors, or
Right.
something like that,
Exactly.
no James
It ain't
Harden,
Boston. It
no
ain't
Kevin Durant.
Right.
That's none of the big time names.
Exactly. Why do I want to watch? Who gonna party in Indiana?
And ain't nobody been
Who want to party
in
in Oklahoma City? That's the thing people look at for the celebration and the party. What's there to do? And I'm not knocking these areas. I'm just speaking in layman's terms and calling this ignorance. I don't know where's the party at in Indianapolis.
No.
And I'm not knocking y'all. Please don't hate. I'm just speaking ignorantly. When it comes to compared to the Bay, compared to Miami, compared to Boston, compared to LA, compared to New York.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Oklahoma. Now these cities probably have thriving club scenes and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably do, and I wouldn't doubt it. But to the masses, to the masses, they don't have that knowledge of that. So who gonna want to go there and expect to party? It sucks. But at the same time, these two areas have been given a platform. Show y'all asses and show these motherfuckers that, motherfucker, we deserve a spot at the table too. Because I'm saluting y'all with that.
My
and you'll
hat
get
is
that.
off to y'all.
For real. Because ain't nobody else there. The major cities ain't there because they weren't supposed to be. It's y'all turn. Thank you for Game 7.
Make it count.
Let's go. What else we got?
That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say that too. Tell the world where they can find you.
You can find me across the board at Feral Films. Just Google it. I'll be there.
He'll be there. You can catch Camouflage at Camouflage Rail on IG.
Facebook too, I believe.
Facebook too. Yeah. You can catch me on Instagram, Cognac_Confessionals. Facebook, Cognac Confessionals. YouTube, Cognac Confessionals. But you can always find me in your chick dreams. Why? Because that's where I reside. But more importantly, you can find me in the bosom of the universe, because that's where I call home. Really, y'all be safe. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hey, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. You know, like old Alpha Beta, remember? Tell a friend. Tell motherfuckers about us, man. You know what I'm saying? We like to sit back and you talk, we talk back.
Yes, indeed.
We do. We just trying to grow the culture and express views that some people are scared to share. Nah, but for real, thank you for tuning in. Y'all be out there, be safe this weekend. It's the first official day of summer, and now it's time to say goodbye to all my Negro friends. Hey, catch y'all next week when we'll be talking about something else.